Now at 9, murder charges are filed in a Joplin woman's killing. Plus, how a Joplin nonprofit not only kept people warm this month, but their four-legged friends as well. And some local students learn about history by meeting with Civil War reenactors.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Prosecutors issue a warrant for second-degree murder in connection with a 2-county murder investigation. Now, authorities served the warrant to this man, Bradley Keith, who was already in jail in connection to the death of 27-year-old Shania Haynes earlier this month. Now, investigators say on January 17th, Keith led them to a .22 caliber pistol hidden in a log at the end of Vernon County Road 2750. Now, an investigation conducted by Missouri law enforcement resulted in the recovery of Haynes' body from a brush and wood fire in a rural area of Cedar County. Court documents show Haynes' body was moved and placed in the fire on or about January 16th in an attempt to destroy or conceal evidence of a crime. Now, Keith and 2 other men have already been arrested and charged with tampering with physical evidence in felony prosecution and felony abandonment of a corpse. The Department of Veterans Affairs announces the location for a new outpatient clinic in Southeast Kansas. The VA Eastern Kansas Healthcare System's newest clinic will be located in Iola at 1408 East Street. To help area veterans learn about the services offered, the VA will provide information sessions in 4 Southeast Kansas communities. The first will be in Garnett on February 6th, and then in Chanute on February 7th, Iola on the 8th, and Fort Scott on the 9th. For more information, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at your forecast.
All right, turned out to be another great day for us today. 60 degrees for an afternoon high. Look at our average high, it's 46, so well above where we should be. We started at 37 during the morning hours. If we go outside, we're still sitting mainly into the 40s. We are dry. We're going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours. Upper 30s to lower 40s across the board, so it's not bad, but we are going to drop back right around freezing later on tonight. And we had a little gusty northerly wind earlier today. These winds have kind of come down near calm, and they're going to switch out of the south as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Clear skies, not much going on. Here's our next storm system out to the west, building, which will affect us as we head toward the weekend. But until then, we look pretty good. Way above normal temperatures, mainly in the 60s. Rain chances increase Friday. Wet for the weekend. We'll break it all down for you here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. On cold days that hit the 4 states this month, Mini Hackney Community Service Center of Joplin served as a warming center, not only for the homeless population, but also for their pets. The building in downtown Joplin has a long history of providing shelter for people, dating back to the segregation days. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
This place served as a spot where people could come to find out, black people could come to find out where they could buy gas, where they could eat. And if there wasn't enough private lodging during the times of segregation, they were able to lodge here within the walls of this building.
According to Nanda Nunnally, volunteer at Mini Hackney Community Service Center, the building located on Joplin's Main Street has a long history of helping people who were not welcomed in other areas. Almost 80 years after being founded, the center is still a safe space for members of the community. When the temperatures drop in the 4 states area, the location opens its doors as a warming center.
He said, because of you, I survived. I don't know that we would have survived just being out on the street.
To people and to their pets.
They didn't have this shelter. They would just have to stay outside with their animals, or they could go inside, but their animals would be cold. The community helped a lot by bringing in cages for the animals. We had a lot of volunteers. It took a lot of people to get it together, but we made it happen.
With the help of community members, the center offered pet crates. More than 20 people and 10 pets were there over a week.
They were very happy, very thankful. We got a lot of happy faces, and it's nice to see the animals too.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
According to the center, the warming center service was provided with no public funding from federal, state, or city help. Now, this serves Thursday, the Service Center will host an event to celebrate Langston Hughes' 123rd birthday. You can find more information about it on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Unity of Joplin met today for its weekly Friends of Unity meeting. Members take advantage of the meeting to give back to the Joplin community. This afternoon, they did just that by cutting plastic grocery store bags into strips to create mats for the unhoused population of Joplin. The group stresses the role of prayer and hard work.
Prayer-based group, and everything else is kind of an outgrowth of that. But, and I would like to add to that prayer-based group that prayer is great. Get off your butt and do something.
Members also used today's meeting to begin work on this year's Trunk or Treat event. The Spiva Center for the Arts today hosted an after-school art class for third graders. The themed artist was Laurel Birch, a contemporary artist who's known for her use of colors, patterns, and animals. The students were able to make their own rendition of a cat through their perspective with colors and pattern.
Art is the release of what's in your mind. It goes through your fingers and on your paper, so you can actually see what your passion is as you go. And there's no right or wrong. I mean, especially at this level, we're just wanting to get out that creativity.
These classes are weekly. They happen every Tuesday until May 21st from 4 p.m. to 5:15. Well, students in Pineville, Missouri were immersed into the history of the Civil War this afternoon. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
My grandmother started me at about 6-8 years old. My great-great-grandfather had been in the 1st Arkansas Cavalry.
Not only does the Civil War run deep in our nation's history, but Mike Patrick's history as well.
My grandmother used to tell me this stuff, but it never really soaked in until I got older and got really interested in history. Then as I started to study it, what she told me I found out was true.
And sharing that history through reenactment is the perfect way to connect with students, something teacher Maggie Johnson agrees with.
I love when they kind of make that face, because you know when that face comes up that some connection has just been made. I love that they get to see and touch things. It will spark more questions after they leave. They'll ask some of the presenters, but once they're gone and they're comfortable with me, we'll have great conversations.
For Mike, this isn't just a hobby. It drives his life.
8 years ago, I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, and your chances of survival are very slim. And it was this stuff and my family, and looking forward to the day that I would get better, that I could do this kind of stuff, that I think made me improve.
And for Maggie, teaching our nation's history is a vital part of these students one day facing the world on their own.
Beliefs we hold deeply in this country and what beliefs deeply divide us in this country are all things they need to know as future citizens, to be responsible citizens. And so I think that that's our priority, is to understand our history.
Reporting in Pineville, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, students were able to interact with all of the equipment and clothing that was presented today. Mrs. Johnson says this kind of presentation can create future historians for years to come. Well, coming up, a nursing home in Fort Scott, Kansas discusses ways to spot depression in seniors. Allowing primary care doctors to perform cognitive tests normally done by specialists could help Alzheimer's patients get earlier treatment. A new report found while primary care providers are capable of performing the test, most of them do not due to time constraints, meaning patients have to wait to see a specialist. According to the report, new training guidelines to stream workflow and better reimbursement rates could be key to making the change. Credo Senior Living in Fort Scott held a discussion about dealing with depression while in a nursing home. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Loss of appetite, restless sleep, and isolation are just some of the symptoms of depression. According to doctors, residents in nursing homes are more prone to depression while adjusting to the facilities.
They get kind of written off, and they have issues just the same as we do. Their symptoms may be a little bit different, but they still need to be addressed. There still needs to be interventions. And I think a lot of times, especially in facilities like nursing homes and assisted livings, those problems are sometimes overlooked.
Dr. Daniels meets with residents who suffer from depression. Although everyone experiences it differently, he says more family involvement is just as effective as medications.
For example, we may do medications and therapy, but we also would recommend, participation in activities, in the facility, as well as more family involvement.
In this Credo community, our families are very involved with the residents as well. So it's not just, we don't just stop at our connection with the residents, we extend to the families as well.
Adjusting to senior living can be difficult after living on your own for decades, but residents say the key is not to keep an idle mind.
People keeping busy and not just sitting down and just giving up, I think.
Since joining the Credo Senior Living community 4 months ago, Lois Wilson says she stays active with the activities.
Bingo.
And being social.
I'm very active. I don't like to sit in a chair and do nothing, and I'm an active person. I've done a lot of walking when I was home, and I didn't have time to be depressed.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Credo Senior Living says their events and discussions are open to the community as well. High schoolers who reported using alcohol, marijuana, or nicotine are at a higher risk for mental health disorders. Researchers surveyed more than 15,000 students in Massachusetts and found those who reported using had an increased prevalence of depression, anxiety, ADHD symptoms, and thoughts of suicide. The increase in symptoms were true even among young people with relatively low levels of use. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later we'll hear from the Missouri Southern baseball team as they get set for the season opener this week.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a nice day for us today. Right around 60 once again for us. Way better than what we've seen over the past couple weeks. And it looks pretty good outside right now. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. This is downtown Joplin, so we're looking at 7th and Joplin Street off toward the north and to the east. You can see a light little breeze with the flags blowing out there. All right, lower 60s yesterday. We dropped back, upper 30s. During the morning hours, and then we went into the lower 60s once again, or 60 for us today. Cooling down, 45 in Sedan, 45 in Nowata, Pittsburgh 41, 40 in Anderson. Monette is sitting at about 38 degrees. Let's go outside, 7th range line, 46 winds, calming, visibility pretty good. Humidity is creeping up just a bit. We may get a little bit of patchy fog out there later on tonight, but overall it looks pretty good. All right, overall, pretty much calm winds across the region. The winds are going to switch to the south as we work through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow. So a little breezy by the afternoon, but they get moving. Tomorrow night into Thursday, winds gusting 30 upwards to about 35. But what that does is it keeps our temperatures mild for this time of the year. All right, clear skies. Not much going on here. We do have one weak little wave near El Paso that will give us some clouds on Thursday. Another wave out across the Pacific Northwest. That's a much bigger system that will affect us as we head into the weekend. So let's go through the week. Here comes that first wave with some clouds. Much bigger system digs in. And this is the first wave of a series of waves that we're going to see all the way through Super Bowl Sunday. It's the same part of the pattern that we had the week leading up to Christmas, where it was pretty active. So rain Saturday night, and then into Sunday. This system will eject off toward the south and to the east. We get into a ridge again, meaning nice weather. And then here we go again. Additional systems load up for next Thursday, Friday, and into Super Bowl weekend. So a lot to track. All right, rainfall this weekend, still a ways away, but a lot of areas are going to pick up 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, upwards to an inch. which we will definitely take. All right, let me take you through time tonight. Kind of cold, backing down near 30. Southerly winds slowly pick up tomorrow, upper 50s by noon. I think most of us go mid 60s, 64, 65 degrees, which is fantastic. Tomorrow night, clouds increase. We back down only into lower 40s. Then on Thursday, may get a sprinkle or two as we warm into the mid 60s once again. All right, 31 in the morning, 54 by noon. High temp of 64 degrees. 64 on Thursday, again 65 on Friday. Those rain chances increasing as we head into the weekend.
Well, we need the rain.
We do, but
hopefully it won't ruin our whole weekend, though.
I know. Temperatures look good.
Yeah, can't complain about that. All right, thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Well, coming up, the gas stove in your home is safe for now. We'll explain.
The fight against gas stoves just got moved to the back burner, at least on the federal level. I'm Madeleine Rivera in Washington, and I've got the details coming up.
The federal government reports the number of available jobs in the U.S. unexpectedly rose last month. According to seasonally adjusted data, the U.S. had more than 9 million job openings in December. Economists had expected December job openings to drop for a fourth consecutive month. Toyota remains the world's biggest automaker by sales for the fourth consecutive year. The Japanese manufacturer sold a record 11 million vehicles last year, beating out rival Volkswagen. Toyota attributed its growth to demand and the easing of semiconductor shortages. No, the White House is not coming for your gas stove. The Biden administration finalized energy efficiency regulations that largely spared gas ranges for now. Fox News correspondent Madeleine Rivera has more from Washington.
This has had a lot of research to make sure that this was the right thing to do for the American family.
Gas stoves will live to fight another day. After 12 months of feedback and debate, on Monday, the Energy Department issued final rules on energy efficiency for American appliances. And it's a big win for chefs who love their gas range. About 97% of gas stoves on the market already meet the new efficiency standards, a significant change from a previous proposal that would have impacted at least 50% of the marketplace. That proposal was unveiled about a year ago and immediately prompted bipartisan backlash, with Republicans accusing the White House of waging a war on gas and putting its green agenda ahead of American consumers.
While Americans suffer under the weight of inflation that has not let up, it wasn't transitory, the Biden administration is trying to make Americans' lives even more expensive.
Gas stoves became even more of a political flashpoint last year when a member of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said they represent a health hazard. But the White House immediately clarified that no ban was under consideration, and the new rules are all about saving money.
They are projected to save Americans approximately $1.6 billion on their utility bills over 30 years. And so this administration is always committed to using every tool at our disposal to lower costs.
Now the fight is expected to move to the local level, with climate activists saying they'll try to ban gas stoves in cities and states across the country. In Washington, Madeleine Rivera, Fox News.
Up next, how United Airlines is catering to Swifties and Chiefs fans ahead of Super Bowl 58. Airlines are now offering flights that give a subtle nod to singer Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. As the Chiefs get set to take on the 49ers in Las Vegas, U.S. Airlines is adding flights to their schedules to cater to fans with flight numbers more specific than usual. Now, Flight 1989 refers to Swift's birth year, and Flight 2287 refers to a Swiftie song and Kelce's jersey number. 1587 flight, you guessed it, represents quarterback Patrick Mahomes' jersey number in combination with Kelce's. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. A bakery in Pittsburgh is getting in the Super Bowl spirit with some Chiefs-themed cookies. Plus, House Republicans move forward with impeachment proceedings against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. For many people, the Super Bowl is about not only the game, but also the food. KOAM's Samantha Walker tells us how one Pittsburgh bakery is helping Chiefs fans represent their team in a pretty sweet way.
January can be a slow month for many businesses, but a Chiefs journey to the Super Bowl can create new opportunities.
So thankfully we've had some experience with this the last few years because this is not the first Chiefs Super Bowl for a while. And we started doing a Super Bowl special with the Chiefs assortment of cookies.
The owner of Celebrations by Lori says Chief cookies have become a popular item.
We have our standouts, of course. Everybody loves Mahomes, everybody loves Kelsey, but we have those diehard fans that really want to see Pacheco and Jones celebrated. So, you know, Coach Reed, of course, leading the pack. We've always tried to make sure we include everybody's favorites.
After the Chiefs AFC Championship win, Horton posted the special cookie offer to fans.
Well, we posted our special as soon as the game ended Sunday night, and within 1 hour we had sold out as many cookie orders as what we could fulfill, which was crazy. In literally 60 minutes, we had taken over 100 dozen orders for the Chiefs cookies.
The bakery had to stop accepting orders as a result of the cookies' popularity.
We bake everything fresh every single day, so of course there is a limit to what we can fulfill as far as that baking and decorating process. So those just got lumped into any other day. Of course, that day will be completely filled with Chiefs designs, more so than others.
But she says they are ready for the excitement the Super Bowl brings.
You know, we were hopeful, just like all the rest of the fans around here, that this would be a problem we needed to solve, and we're super happy that we're having to face that challenge.
And the fan support makes the hard work worth it.
So to have that feedback come back in and know that we are as important to their celebrations as, you know, who comes to them and who's invited, it's like we're a member of that party. So, oh my gosh, it's everything to us. It really is.
In Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the bakery will have a limited amount of Chiefs-themed cookies available to purchase in-store for those who are unable to order. Well, Crowder College kicked off Winterfest today. The two-day event serves as a showcase for campus clubs and organizations. In addition to being a fun day and a way to meet people, the event also serves as a way to impress potential employers.
I feel like just being involved. I love just like being a person everyone can go to if they have any questions about Crowder, and just being a helping hand. I say, yeah, just staying involved is the main thing, you know, why I stay so busy. So.
The event wraps up tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon in the Student Center on the Neosho campus. Well, House Committee is marking up articles of impeachment for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Republicans are accusing him of not enforcing laws at the southern border. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Some members of the House Homeland Security Committee believe Secretary Mayorkas is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. Articles of impeachment claim Mayorkas did not enforce immigration law and that he lied to Congress about the southern border being secure.
Secretary Mayorkas is the very type of public official the framers feared. Someone who would cast aside the laws passed by a co-equal branch of government, replacing those with his own preferences, hurting his fellow Americans in the process.
Mayorkas responded to lawmakers with a letter saying problems at the border go back before he took over the agency. He claims the current administration has removed more migrants than the Trump administration. This comes as a small group of senators tries to work out a bipartisan border deal.
Just give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people. Give me the people, the judges. Give me the people who can stop this and make it work for us.
Some in the House are growing anxious, not having seen the text of the bill.
All we know is the reports and rumors, I suppose, that have been leaked. I hope some of this is not true. But from what we've seen, clearly what's been suggested is in this bill is not enough to secure the border.
How can you oppose something that you don't even know what is in the text? And what that tells me is they are not interested in governing.
Articles of impeachment for Secretary Mayorkas are expected to go to the full House for a vote sometime next week. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Sources say the Justice Department is investigating Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush for alleged misuse of funds. The allegations come after the DOJ subpoenaed the House Sergeant at Arms yesterday for documents related to the misuse of funds for security. In response, the Democratic Congresswoman from Missouri said she has beefed up her personal security due to threats to her physical safety, but she denies using any federal tax dollars for personal security services. Well, a bit later, we'll see how Chiefs fans on the other side of the Show Me State are gearing up for the team's latest Super Bowl appearance.
Well, of course, a nice day for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures fantastic as we went all the way up to about 60 during the afternoon. It is going to be a cold night, but it's going to be fine. Temperatures are going to be dropping back near freezing. A nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. This is at 7th and about Joplin, but you can see looking northeast into town. Looks pretty good. All right, 36-hour temperature trend yesterday into lower 60s. We dropped back upper 30s, right back up to about 60 once again for us today. Temps now, not bad. 37 in Stockton, Neosho 38, 41 in Miami, Chanute, a little bit cooler at 35. Let's go outside. Here's 7th, here's range line 46. Winds pretty much calm, visibilities are good. We had a kind of a northerly breeze today. These are calming down. The reason is they're about ready to switch back out of the south as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. So what this means for you is the winds will start to pick up a little bit, especially in our western counties once we get into tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, though, they get moving. We'll have gusts 30 upwards to 35 lasting into the daytime hours on Thursday. Not a whole bunch going on. We have clear skies. We're going to continue to see those clear skies tonight into tomorrow. You can see a weak little wave, southern parts of New Mexico, stronger storm system building out across the Pacific Northwest, and that system will really change our weather up by the time we head into the weekend. Weak little wave Thursday, bigger system for the weekend. Dives in, rain most of the weekend, passes just to our south as we get into Sunday. We do get a break back to a ridge of high pressure, meaning nice weather, and then we reload again, and here we go again. More storm systems rolling in by the time we head into late next week, also into Super Bowl weekend. All right, rainfall this week in a lot of areas are going to pick up a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, upwards to an inch, which would be great. We need the rain. Until then, we look pretty good. Temperatures for us tonight, they are going to be cold. We dip back near 30. We'll get into the upper 50s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, I'll stop it for you at 3:30. 66 in Chanute, 64 in Bonita, Bentonville, Anderson, 64, Stockton, up to about 60 degrees. Tomorrow night, not near as cold. Clouds roll in. We drop back lower 40s on Thursday with a weak little wave. We may get a random little shower that kind of scoots through, but in general, it looks pretty good as we go into the mid 60s once again on Thursday. All right, 31 to start, 54 by noon. High temp, 64 for you tomorrow. 64 on Thursday, more clouds. Few showers start to sneak in late Friday, wet weekend, but it's okay. And temperature is great the next 10 days.
Yeah, you can't complain about those temperatures.
No.
I love seeing all those 6s up there.
I know, it looks great.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State announces 2 new teams coming to its campus. Plus, Missouri Southern baseball is ready for its 2024 season. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
For the second day in a row, nice weather means baseball in the 4 states. Over at Missouri Southern, the Lions are practicing this afternoon with just 48 hours left until their season opener on Thursday. MSSU will play 4 games in 4 days as part of the Dugan Invitational in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The first of which is against Southern Arkansas, who the Lions eliminated in the regional playoffs last May. Although 2023 provided some great memories for the Lions, this year's group is ready to make its own legacy.
Last year is in the rearview mirror, you know, and our guys know that, and nothing's easy, man. And so we have a really difficult first 4 games.
It's a new season from last year, but they saw what we're capable of. So They know we got a high-flying offense, and we're pretty dynamic this year. Last year we relied on the long ball. We can still do that, but we can hit the ball, strike out a little bit less, and our pitching this year is better than it was last year.
I'll just keep working hard the whole year. All off-season will be working hard as a team, as individuals, and just keep like stacking days over time, and we'll find a way to get to the playoffs and then Super Regionals, World Series.
Pittsburgh State announces this afternoon it will add 2 more intercollegiate sports programs. After a 10-year hiatus, men's golf is returning to PSU in the 2024-25 school year. The following year, the Gorillas will launch a women's golf program. Pittsburgh State Athletic Director Jim Johnson saying in a statement, "This is an exciting day at Pittsburgh State. Another exciting day. When we made the decision to suspend men's golf in 2014, I was confident this day would come. Both programs will use Crestwood Country Club as their home course." Pitt State men's basketball playing again tonight. The Gorillas had lost 3 in a row. That was until Saturday when they blew out Northeastern State 97-73, trying to turn that into a winning streak tonight. And the Gorillas do exactly that. They win on the road 63-58 over the Mules of Central Missouri. This is PSU's first road win in a month since it beat Lincoln by 17 on December 30th. Marquis English leads the way for the Gorillas. He finishes with a double-double on 15 rebounds and 10 points. Jeff Boshy's group is back in action Thursday night at Central Oklahoma. And a busy night of high school basketball across the 4 states as well, including a matchup between a couple COC rivals. That's Webb City and Carthage. And Webb City wins the girls' game 50-41 over Carthage. Abby Sargent shows out tonight for the Lady Cardinals. She leads all scorers with 22 points. Mallory Stanley chips in 10 as well. Webb City plays again on Thursday at home against Ozark. Lady Tigers' next game is Friday at home against Republic. And the Webb City boys team makes it a clean sweep of Carthage. They win 79-50. Baron Duda leads the way with 31 points. He connects on 6 3-pointers. Omari Jackson adds in 16 more for the Cards. Webb City back on the road tomorrow night at Branson. We'll have the highlights from tonight's game in our KOAM news at 10. And now that it is baseball season, one of the things that stuck out visiting Pitt State yesterday, visiting Missouri Southern today, is they're loving this weather. I know we're going to have some cold games in February, but as somebody who's going to be out there at those games as well, I'd appreciate if every single day was like today.
And you said opening day for both of them is on Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
And yeah, like 65 degrees. You cannot beat that.
I know.
All right, well, we'll be back with more news after this. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs not only won a ticket to Super Bowl 58, but the team is also winning over fans from a different city across the state. Fox's Mallory Thomas in St. Louis with how fans there are gearing up for the big day.
I was hoping that they would. To be honest with you, I didn't think they would make it this far, the way they started off the season, but they sure turned it around.
Chiefs fans across the state are counting down the days until the Super Bowl.
We can't wait. Chiefs all the way. I was kind of hoping for the Lions to be against them, but okay, we'll win no matter.
Here in the St. Louis area, jerseys, hats, shirts, they're selling like hotcakes.
We've had people buying stuff for their dogs. I mean, it's just everything at this point.
Tom Robinette is the assistant store manager of the Rally House in Brentwood. He says for the last several weeks, Chiefs gear is flying off the shelves.
So when they played Miami in the wild card, we had people coming in buying parkas and coats because they were going to go sit in the negative 27-degree weather at Arrowhead Stadium. And these are people from St. Louis. So I think they've definitely solidified themselves as our team.
And Chiefs fans here in St. Louis are out shopping after Sunday's win, looking for more ways to support the team they're calling Missouri's team.
They are in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, so I feel like they're St. Louis's team too.
Melissa Dorr is shopping for gear for the Super Bowl. She says her family can't wait for game day.
They're just an incredible team. I think Patrick Mahomes is a role model, and Travis Kelce and the chemistry they have, and Andy Reid. I just think it's great, and I think a lot of St. Louisans support the Chiefs, and it's become our football team after the Rams left.
Robinette says there is a delay in getting the championship gear after Sunday's win. He says that should be on the shelves within the next couple of days.
Well, coming up, director Eli Roth talks about the sequel to his hit slasher, Thanksgiving. Eli Roth's holiday slasher Thanksgiving is the gift that keeps giving. While horror fans have to wait a year for the sequel, they can now carve out space in their film collection by adding the Blu-ray and DVD release. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Horror maestro Eli Roth delivers the at-home scares with the Blu-ray and DVD release of his hit holiday slasher Thanksgiving. Roth says he's been wanting to make a Thanksgiving-themed horror since he was a kid.
I grew up in Massachusetts, where Thanksgiving is a huge deal. I also grew up in that golden age of slasher films. My best friend Jeff and I were watching, My Bloody Valentine, Prom Night, April Fool's Day, Happy Birthday to Me, Halloween, Silent Night, Deadly Night. And there was this glaring hole in the calendar for Thanksgiving. So for us, it was about completing the calendar and finally giving a Thanksgiving horror film.
The film started as a fake trailer the filmmaker created for Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino's 2007 movie Grindhouse.
After the trailer, we thought, well, we don't have to do the movie because we already did the best parts. But then fans were badgering me over the years, and I thought, oh man, they're right. I need to do this as a movie for real. But we didn't know what it was until we started seeing every year Thanksgiving became Black Friday. There's no Thanksgiving anymore. It's all about the sales. I was really seeing those riot videos that I thought, this is how I want to start the movie, where everyone sits at home and they say, oh, we're so happy for being thankful. We don't need anything, just our friends and family. And then they're killing each other for waffle irons and flat screen TVs.
Due to the film's success and support of his fans, the sequel will be out in 2025.
I wanted to surprise people. You got to think about every time, every possible permutation of what you could do in a sequel to Thanksgiving. And that just takes time.
Happy Thanksgiving. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of animals at a zoo in Chile enjoying some icy treats. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.